Alright, and we are back, everyone. Sorry about that. My fridge was a little understocked for this endeavor. But for anyone joining late, we are currently jamming Mono White Initiative. I have put this together as the list that I am currently running through the grinder. We are on 4 Archon of Emeria, 2 Touch of the Spirit Realm main, the other 2 in the side, 1 Eye Ganjo, 2 Karakas instead of the other way around. In our sideboard, 4 Plow, 1 Priest, 2 Mind Sensor, 1 Lauren, 1 Archon of Absolution, 4 Leyline of the Void. So, if you are just coming in, that is where we're at. For everyone joining on this new YouTube video, hello, welcome. This is the 3rd league we will be firing in this series. You can find the others in previous videos. So we will go ahead and fire this off again and see what we can do. Again, I really appreciate everyone hanging out today. We're going to be here for the long haul, so I appreciate all of you who are just hanging out and chilling. I greatly appreciate the company. If you are new to the channel, whether that be YouTube or on Twitch, hello. I am Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We play a bunch of Eternal Magic on this channel. Realistically, that's a lot of Legacy, Vintage, and Cube. Used to play a little Pauper, not a big fan of the format anymore, just my personal preference. Yeah, so we do a ton of things like that on this channel, and it's a good time. We have a good time. If you are just finding the channel for the first time, whichever channel that might be, I am curious how you found it, so please let me know. We can do better. This is better. Gonna ship one of these caverns. It's gonna be turn 1, Chromox Imprint Emeria, Ancient Tomb Spellbinder you. Area, Ancient Tomb. Hello and welcome. Nomad's Encore, Daze, Stoneforge Mystic, Ponder? I think I'm gonna take the Stoneforge here. Taking the plan B looks pretty good. Been seeing a lot of Cephalid Breakfast floating around recently, which makes me happy, but also makes my brain hurt because the deck is very good, and it is very difficult to play against because of both halves. Because the deck has both the combo kill and the fair game with Stoneforge and things like that, it is particularly challenging to determine what is the better avenue to take. Here's the Pondergon. I would be pretty cool with finding an Archon of Emeria here. That one also works. Gonna name Cleric. This plays around their days, which is pretty great. Grab this. Crunch for 3. Also, for anyone who is not, like, kind of on the up with this deck, it's pretty interesting. This is Strix. This is a Strix. I don't love that. I'm not going to lie to you here. I really don't love that. It's going to make it kind of hard for me to do my thing. I may have to touch this. I think I am just going to touch this and then just, like, kind of try to aggro them out. Okay. Man, thank you for the Prime sub. I really appreciate you. It's going to let us play around a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to touch this. Playing around their days all over the place. Let's go. Also, Mailman, welcome to the party. We're having a grand old time here. Nomads, okay. Yup, tracks. Gonna F6 here. I want to make sure they don't have it. It's stuck in hands. Teferi. Okay. They have multiple Teferis. They do have the Cauldron, which I expected. They're also on Saga. Step through. So this is a pretty stock list. They are also playing Strix, which is interesting. There's the Oracle. Go ahead and pop this out. There's the Therapy. There's the Dread Return. I'm gonna go ahead and print screen that real quick just so I have it for reference. And then I will go ahead and concede. Go ahead and open up Paint real quick so I have access to this. Paste this in. Cool. So I'm interested in touches, plows, priest. Gonna cut Thalia's. Gonna cut the Chalices. Gonna play Lauren. Opponent appears to be on Plow in their sideboard, not main, so that's worth noting. Opponent will likely board in their Plows. This ain't it. We keep. Ship the second city. So I think my game plan here is to Spellbinder on 1. Opponent has mulled to 4. And the reason I want a Spellbinder here specifically is because I want to stop things like Vile. Just take the Stoneforge instead. Seems great. Blue to Delta. There, yep. Tundra Ponder, sure. So what I'm going to do here is play Petal, and then White Plume off of Cavern. I lied? I lied. This seems much better. Given the deficit they're in, I think this is going to be harder for them to come back from. And I don't think I'm going to play it around Daze. I'm just going to cast Lotus Petal. And just jam this Archon in the stack. If they have Force, they have Force. They're down to 1 card in hand that we know as basic planes. It just feels like it's going to be really hard for them to dig themselves out of a mull to 4. Where we stripped a card from their hand, turn 1. Yeah, yeah. I just feel like this is going to be a very hard game for them to come back from. Okay. I don't know why you would show me that instead of the basic planes I know you have, but I understand, I guess. Unless there's a Strix that you're, like, concerned with being relevant. Okay, there's another Archon. Gonna name Cleric here. Grab my basic. Rumble. Sure. You got it. Brainstorm resolves. Sweet. Okay. Anything different on... I guess the concern on the draw is that they can combo fairly quickly. So maybe I want to cut some of the interaction. So we'll cut a jailer. I'm thinking about these ley lines specifically. Touch, touch. Lauren? Lauren is the weakest of our interactive creatures because it's only going to tag Shuko and Aethervile and potentially Urza's Saga. Whereas the rest of the stuff is like pretty strong. Mind Sensor has some appeal. This doesn't do anything early. This is like a reasonable hand, but it feels slow. But I have Removal Spell, I have Archon and Spellbinder for Disruption. I think I'm just going to keep it. This one is questionable. I could get punished for keeping something like this for sure. Opponent is mulled to 6. Tundra? Ponder, sure. I'm heavily debating here on whether or not I'm just like playing Cavern on one and saying go. Okay. That's better. I think I am just going to play Cavern. I don't think this particularly matters if I have the rest of this, so I'm just going to actually play this. Not interested in paying 3 life. That can become very relevant. As it sits, my game plan is to pitch White Plume Adventurer to Solitude, should that need arise. Okay. Spellbinder good. I think I am going to start with the Archon here. So, opponent is fetching. Probably means they're grabbing a non-basic. Yep. This is Underground Sea, sure. Brainstorm, got it. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have fired the... Oh, apparently, like, they pondered, I guess. Maybe they didn't... Did they shuffle? They did not shuffle. Archon is in. You don't get another spell this turn because you already cast the one. That was Brainstorm. Yeah, Saga's whatever. That's not a thing that I particularly care about at this juncture. Jite, sure. They just can't defend this Stoneforge right now. That's excellent. Cavern of Souls. Name human. Elite Spellbinder. I mean, I'm gonna take the true name. The true name is the card that would just be basically unbeatable, so that's the one we're taking. Okay. I wouldn't hate another white source. Being able to cast this Solitude would be great. Bonus points if it's a Cavern of Souls. There's a Nomad, sure. Nope. 1. You get 1. Guess what we're exiling, friends? Goodbye, Cephalid Illusionist. It was nice knowing you. Tracks. Okay. Given the Dread Returns in hand there's a whole conversation about just, like, taking the... I'm just gonna crash. Given they have the Dread Return in hand, there's a whole conversation to be had there about taking the Jite. But as it sits, they can't, like, do all of these things. Sure. This is likely to be an Aether Vial, if I had to venture a guess. Oh, this is just Shuko. Oh, they found another true name. Okay. Why? Okay. That doesn't solve my problem with Solitude. That said, it could help me with future ley lines? This is a weird, like, totally off-the-wall thing, but I'm going to try it. 10 arms later, dude. Appreciate you dropping by. Sweet. So there is that one in the bag. So we start this one off 1-0. That feels good. I will say, like, for all the chatter that people were on about with, this initiative deck, like, people are talking bans and restrictions and stuff, like, I very much am in line with what Justin Gennari, I'm actually level 1, said in his most recent video, which is that, like, the deck is good. Full stop. Not excellent, not unbeatable, just good. And the problem with what is going on in the meta right now has nothing to do with the deck and everything to do with people not wanting to adapt. Too many players got used to being able to register the same 75 over and over and over again for a long time. I will play first. This ain't it, Chief. This one's awkward. I recognize this name. Ponder. I don't know why I recognize this username, but I do. If anyone in chat is aware, or if anyone in the YouTube comments sees this after the fact and is aware of who this person is, let me know. Mana Drain with a 1 for the I, all one word. That's incredible. Human. Uncounterable threats are good, yo. Sure. This is so good for us. I believe opponent is on, maybe on breakfast once more, and we're just gonna get to, yep, there's the cauldron complete. We're just gonna strip it from their hand. We're gonna strip it from their hand uncounterably, no less. That's also insane. Okay. Most of their stuff doesn't matter. I'm just gonna take this cauldron and move on with my life. Oh, I just skipped through combat like an idiot. Let's go. Missed 2 points of damage I didn't need to miss. Two mana Ponder. And that is a different card than the 6 we knew about. I'm not sure why you would Ponder here over Brainstorm, to be honest. Brainstorm feels much better because half the cards in your hand are irrelevant. Okay. You have a polluted Delta. I understand. I know all 6 cards in your hand and none of them matter. They can daze me here if I try to play this Chromox, so I'm just gonna jam the Dungeoneer. Okay, so opponent plays Legacy and Vintage. They're a Doomsday player. They're a Doomsday player. Okay. That would probably be why I know this person. Tracks? Alright. I'm really still not sure why opponent pondered last turn instead of brainstorming. Like, they would have gotten to keep the ponder and ditch the dazes and force of will that aren't any good. Like, that's really, really confusing to me. Opponent said they would be right back. So we're just kind of hanging out, waiting. I do hope that everyone is having a fantastic weekend so far. It is a balmy 30 degrees here. Grab our basic, play our basic, move to combat, attack with Thalia Spellbinder. That's not a card I care about. Okay. So, opponent plays a 2-mana Ponder. Again, not casting the Brainstorm that we know about. That's so strange to me. They chose not to shuffle. They've played an Urza Saga, so Saga's going to get them the Shuko. It's 9. Name Cleric. Cast White Plume. Go to trap, kill you. Cool. Alright, now, again, here we are in a situation where we have to make a determination of what we want to be doing I think I'm going to cut Chalice. I'm going to cut Thalia. I'm going to bring in 4 Plow. I'm going to bring in 4 Leyline. I'm going to cut Palace Jailer. Bring in Containment Priest. Call that. All right. This one's pretty exciting. You are absolutely not comboing, get out of here. That's what we've said to our opponent. No chance you're comboing, get out. One, two. Opponent kept their 7, we kept our 7. Player Caracas and pass. Opponent's got nothing. That's very good. Play Ancient Tomb and pass. I don't particularly care about an Archamoeba at the moment. So here's the situation. I could introduce the initiative. I think that doing so at this juncture is not great for me. All right. Opponent has fired off a brainstorm. Sure. Flooded Strand. Fetch. Sure. Opponent has gone for their Shuko. Leads me to believe they probably already have their thing in hand. Cool. Alright, so one of their Archimedes is gone. Grab this basic, play this basic, pass the turn. I would absolutely love to draw a Cavern to name Elemental here. Plow resolves. Blue Illusionist, sure. Lost Well. Top. Spellbinder. Sure. I just don't care about you comboing right now, like, if I'm being perfectly honest here. I'm gonna let them make the decision as to what's important here. They've played the Shuko, sure. Arena? Can also mill 3 cards while we're at it, friend. Nice! There's the Oracle on the Dread Return. Let's go! Continue. Seasoned Dungeoneer. White. 1/2. Uncounterable Moron. I'm gonna go to Archives and draw a card. I will play this Ancient Tomb. Put on top. That one we do like quite a bit. Sure. Your Oracle's in exile already, friend. Cool. I was just about to tell opponent, and then they realized it. Yep, so I was just about to tell opponent that their Oracle is already in exile, because they Wizard cycled thinking that they could go untap, combo off, or cast Oracle. But their Oracle was already gone. So, pretty sweet. All right. We won the die roll. We would love to play first. Opponent is also currently double queuing. Okay. I'm gonna keep. Turtle and Archon of Emeria seems pretty cracked. Ancient Tomb, short. Mox Opal, yes. Awesome. I think that opponent is on some sort of like Echo of Eons or some such style deck. Yeah, okay, there's a Saga. Yep. It could be 8-cast, could be the Epic Gamble. There's a handful of decks like this. Either way, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to combo through Thalia Archon. I'm just going to play this tapped. City of Brass. So this could be Aerith Storm? There's another LED, sure. That doesn't particularly matter at this juncture. I mean, I do like just playing that. Double Archon of Emeria makes me believe they're going to have a very hard time casting Magic the Gathering cards. Okay. Grindstone. Do you have a Painter Servant? You have a Goblin Engineer. Sure. Now here's the million-dollar question. I guess we'll wait to see if they block, but if they don't, do I just exile Goblin Engineer now while I have the chance? Like, I'm kind of intrigued by this notion of just exiling their engineer if they don't block. Because that means they would have to have another painter servant in hand. I guess there's no need to act, right? Like... There's just not really anything pressing to act about. Okay. I hate that for me. Yep. Cool. Okay, so things that I'm interested in include Leyline of the Void. Not Palace Jailer, definitely not Archon. Whoa, get out of there. Definitely Touch the Spirit Realm and Lauren. Vaguely interested in Aven Mind Sensor. I think I'll also cut Chalice on the draw. Mind Sensor, Mind Sensor. Oh. Why does... Okay. I think I only want the interactive spells. Archon is fine because it does a lot of tempo. It really shuts off their ability to kind of deal with our stuff. This shuts off the Graveyard Avenue entirely. Trying to determine if I want access to Plow, and if so, how best we get that. I think that this is just fine. I mean, I guess. I'm gonna keep... I'm gonna put both of these ley lines into play. Yep. Okay. LED, sure. Welder, yeah. This one's gonna name Cleric. Goblin Engineer, sure thing. They chose not to search. Okay. They have just turned off their own stuff, which feels good for me. They shut off their own Mox Opal. Alright, so this is weird because we're going to give them the initiative, but I want the basic in the event of Blood Moon. Even though they are a Saga deck, it is still something that is in the realm of possibility. Sweet. Opponent has given up. We are 3-0. Feels good to take down Painter. That deck can do some really, really messed up things really quickly. We saw them dump a whole pile of artifact mana into play on turn 1. Which, for reference, is the reason I was interested in cutting Chalice on the draw. Because the number we want to put Chalice on is 0 for all of their fast mana. And we just can't do that in a meaningful amount of time. If they keep a hand that is a bunch of fast mana, they just dump it into play on 1 and then sit there and wait. So, one moment everyone, I'm going to mute my mic while I go ahead and change the lighting. There we go, we're a little brighter now. It's almost hard to remember that it's still winter outside, because we haven't had snow in quite a while. A couple of weeks or so. So, basically we got a big snowstorm here just before Christmas, when I had the terrible misfortune of catching COVID, as I had scheduled vacation time for my birthday, which was unfortunate. And, yeah, so then just after that, it all kind of melted and went away, and we haven't had snow since. So it's very strange. Again, I really hope that everyone is having a fantastic weekend so far. I am very, very, very ready for the long weekend. It was quite a week at work, so having a 3-day weekend will be delightful. For anyone watching from outside the US, I am on a 3-day weekend because we are off for Martin Luther King Jr. Day at my work, which is good. As much as my work has been an unusual place and can be a great source of stress sometimes, I will say that I have been particularly pleased with the way that their management team handles holidays for the purposes of being a little more inclusive. Our office is off for both Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is not always the case, depending on where you work, and also for what is known as Juneteenth. If you are unfamiliar with the concept of Juneteenth, because you, for whatever reason, are, go ahead and look it up. It is a celebration of the racial equality movement, and I'm not going to go into too much more detail than that. Okay. So this is land drop, go. I think we can do better. This isn't really the better I was hoping for. I'm gonna keep it and chip this Dungeoneer though. I just don't know that going to 5 gets much better in the blind. Human. Tell you what, we're gonna play out this pedal because if my opponent is also on initiative, I would love, love, love to not have this stuck under Athalia. Gonna name Cleric with this one. I mean, Travis, you know that I do not live in the... You know that I do not live in the South. Oh, okay. My opponent has stifled my initiative trigger. If opponent is on Basic Island Brainstorm Stifle, it is possible they are Delver, but it definitely feels like they are some sort of Phyrexian Dreadnought deck. Okay. EI. Still could be either of the two things I suggested. Stifle is less common in Delver these days, but still does show up from time to time. Delver of Secrets. Entered the Exile Zone. Sure. Alright. Exile's Palace Jailer. Opponent is going to Force of Will, pitching a Daze. Okay, opponent's trying to get aggressive here. This is a weird spot to try to do that. You are already very behind. Ponder. Okay. Murktide Regent. Yes. Okay. Do you have Daze or Force? They have Daze. Okay. I'm not sure that this is a game that we are capable of winning. That Stifle was back-breaking. It really shut down my development. Ponder resolves. Okay. Take 11, go to 6. Another Delver of Secrets, sure. 2 Delver of Secrets, sure. Okay. I'm just dead to... Yeah, that sucks. Alright. So, I don't like Palace Jailer in this matchup, like, literally at all. I do like Touch the Spirit Realm a lot. I'm gonna shave Athalia. I think that's it. So, I mentioned it before, but like, there's a whole conversation about how you can bring in Leyline of the Void to shut down Murktide Regent. I don't think that's a good way to play this game. Leyline of the Void, you either have to mulligan aggressively for it, which you are not able to do very well, or you have to accept that, like, you may just never cast it. And if you mulligan aggressively for it, you may end up with hands that just don't function and are all in on Leyline of the Void, which they can, like, bounce with a Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I just don't love this as a plan against Delver. I love one. Look, we get to go first. Okay. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's not stable enough. My god, can we not? I guess we're keeping this. I'm gonna ship Caracas. I'm gonna ship Chromox. Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? I know exact... Nice. Opponent didn't even catch it. That's so good for me. I know why I keep doing that. So, used to be that in order to interact with Chalice of the Void, you had to adjust you had to adjust numbers over here before it would actually cast. Now you can just pay with the mana that's in your pool. Archon. Oh. Magic Online, please. Yeah, I'm not sure when the update thing happened with, not at all sure when the update thing happened with, Chalice, but it's kind of frustrating. Okay, that's fine. I will pay 3 life here. The reason I'm willing to pay life is because what I can do here is channel touch the Spirit Realm if opponent decides to try to bolt my Archon of Emeria. I can also flicker their Delver, which is pretty good for me. Sure, this is all fine. Right now I'm just going to take the damage. Now we have 2 removal spells. We have Pitchcast Solitude plus touch. That's pretty great for us. Annoying, but yeah, I guess. I'm human here. I say I'm just gonna Spellbinder. Gonna take the Stifle. We are at 8. Okay. Unchained Berserker. I will not like to pay 3 life, thanks. I'm working towards putting this Solitude into play. Like, actually factually casting it. The reason I want to cast this Solitude is because it is lifelink. That's a Brainstorm. I pitch cast my Solitude, gain 2, go to 1. Yeah, I'm just dead. Now that these randoms are playing, like, Unchained Berserker and stuff, these weird, like, draft commons, it is... A lot of these matchups get really weird. I think that I do need to start looking at bringing either Blessed Alliance or Walking Ballista back to the deck, now that so many people are doing this, like, super weirdo, let's play a random 2015 draft cards. Yeah, it's just a... It is weird to me that so many people have opted to just start playing these random, like, super narrow cards. But, sure. All the same, we are 3-1, which is pretty good, so I'm not mad about that. Okay, what do we got here? This is turn 1, Chalice on 1. And nothing else? I don't love that. And we can do better. This I like. I'm gonna ship Jailer. Sure. Okay. Okay, that's even better. Sure. I will not. Gonna move phases here. Opponent did the thing instead, so we're just gonna go ahead and Chalice 1. This feels like another Delver matchup. Opponent has shown us a different card altogether. Archon of Emeria. Force of Will, pitching Brazen Borrower. Sure thing. What is going to fetch here? Get a tapped Steam Vent. This smells a lot like opponent is looking for a Murktide Regent. And they are. Would love to draw Solitude. That is not Solitude. I mean, neither of these matter. Okay, so we've seen Tarn. Okay. Go ahead and grab a basic here. Gonna block here. I may need the 2 points of life to go ahead and cast a Solitude. We're gonna Lost Well because I need to find a removal spell. Neither of these is a removal spell. That counts. Sweet. Okay, again, touch, touch. I like Jailer less, I like Thalia less. Tell you what, maybe thinking about this again, maybe I like Chalice less. With the whole purpose being that they can just throw things into Chalice to fuel Murktide. Yeah. I mean, like, whatever it might be, we're not beating an Unchained Berserker. So if the opponent is on Unchained Berserker, like, we're gonna have a rough time. So to kind of go into more detail, as far as Palace Jailer is concerned, the reason I don't like Palace Jailer in the matchup is specifically because they have a lot of ways that they can go ahead and take the Monarchy in the initiative through things like Unchained Berserker. This is just so slow. But things like Unchained Berserker, Murktide Regent, some of them are on True Nemesis. We're gonna mulligan. Keep. Like, Iganjo is our out to this garbage, but I kind of need all these other cards. Okay. I think that Spellbinder is going to be our imprint. This lets us play around days. That's why we're doing sick. Let's go. Alright. Well, there is another 4-1. So I love that for us. That puts us at 34 QP. Give me 2 seconds for a restroom break. We're going to go right back into the fray and do it all over again.